Good afternoon, boys and girls. This is a special assembly today, and it's two parts. It is an award, and it's a celebration for Wildwood School, and the great work our students and teachers and our families do. And so we're going to hear a little bit about that. And then following that, we have the Grade 3 Learning Celebration, and it's our first learning celebration of the year. So our grade 3s are going to be performing this afternoon, and then they get to perform for their families tonight. So we're really excited about that. So we're going to get started. So if we can quietly stand for whole Canada, please. Well, thank you, boys and girls. Special guests. We have some real special guests at our school today, and they are here to celebrate and to award our school for doing a masterful job of recycling. And I know that this is a whole school initiative where everybody works hard, and I think your efforts have been recognized. So it is my great privilege to introduce some special guests to our school who are going to lead us in this award and celebration. It is with honor to welcome Judy Hare. She is our school trustee for Wildwood School and for this area. We have Calvin Davies, who is the area director. For Area 4. He is the person that oversees our school and all the schools in the Southwest Quadrant here. We also have Sharon Howland, and Sharon is from the Alberta Recycling Council, and she's going to say a few words. We have Gordon McAlpine, and he is from Waste Management, and so he looks after all the waste that leaves our school, both recycling and garbage. So those big green bins that we have in our parking lot, that's from Waste Management. And then we have Ross Jakes. He's with our CBE facilities, I think, environmental services. And we also have some media, and Jacques, who's going to be taking some photos, so everybody's on their best behavior. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Judy Hare, our school trustee, to say a few words to get us started, and then we'll move on.
Thank you, Mr. Kwan. Here's one little fact for you. Mr. Kwan and I got to teach together 20 years ago. He's good. On that note, I came to say to you, all 595 of you students, congratulations. And you know, you have done an amazing job. The thing I want you to know is you will make the biggest difference in your area that you live in, but when you are an adult, I know that you understand already what waste management's about, and I know you're getting your grandmas and grandpas and your moms and dads to understand that. I predict that probably at least 10 of you will become senior leaders in the waste management world. Put your hand up if you know that's what you want to become. Look at that. See that? I know my prediction will go through. And you know what? You couldn't do this without your parents, and you couldn't do this without the staff, and you couldn't do this with all the leaders up front. So I'm going to ask you, do you know what a silent clap is? Watch this. It doesn't make a noise. So we're going to give you and everybody a silent clap. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3.
Thank you, Judy here. I have one guest that I forgot to introduce, and I apologize, Deborah. The email came from Deborah, so she wasn't on this list, and it's Deborah Wennis. And Deborah kind of oversees all the waste and recycling and composting programs for our board. And she was the one that kind of worked with Mrs. Connell and Mr. Kelly, our facility operator, and myself, and having the original conversation about what Wildwood School could do if they embarked on this journey. So, with further ado, I'd like to call Sharon Howland up, and Sharon's going to say a few words about our celebration.
Thank you so much, boys and girls, for having me here today. As your principal said, I am the president of the Recycling Council of Alberta, and this week is Waste Reduction Week. Waste Reduction Week at Wildwood School. That's a lot of W's. Now, I see in the crowd a number of you wearing name badges that say Compost Crew. Compost Crew. Can you stand if you have a name tag that says Compost Crew? Wow! Look at all those people that are part of the Compost Crew. And every day you empty the composts in the school, in your classrooms, and put it in the big green bins, right? Wow. And did you know that here at the school that most of your waste is actually compostable? So that if you put it in the compost bins, instead of putting it in the garbage, it doesn't go to the landfill, right? It goes and becomes soil. All right, can we do a silent clap for the Compost Crew? All right, Compost Crew, why don't you have a sit down, okay? I have one more question for you. How many of you use those compost bins? Stand up if you use the compost bin. Stand up. All right, so you put your banana peel, you put your apple core in those green bins? Well, I think that you guys are awesome. And you need to give yourselves a really loud clap right now. Boys and girls, the Recycling Council of Alberta doesn't give awards to just anyone off the street. You have to do something big, something huge, something like diverting 84% of your garbage. All right, and that's exactly what you've done. You've implemented a composting program, you have great recycling bins, you have students that use the programs, because what's the use if you have bins if nobody uses them? So, the Recycling Council of Alberta would like to present you as a school with this awesome award for institutional leadership. So way to go, Wildwood School. Congratulations. And of course, we know that some of our teachers have showed great leadership for this, and this couldn't have been done without her, so thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Everyone, first of all, it's wonderful to be here today. I've missed all of you. I'm actually on medical leave. I had a pinched nerve in my neck, and I'll be back as soon as I can. So 35.2 tons, 77,603 pounds of organics have been diverted from landfill or the garbage monster by the students and the staff of Wildwood. That works out to more than 131 pounds per student. Boys and girls, that's probably than any of you weigh. For many of you, you have composted so much paper towel that it will be equal to 2 of you. And this work has been done by every person at Wildwood School. We applaud Mrs. Harkos and our compost crew for being our leaders and trainers and our monitors. But we also need to applaud every person who has chosen to put your paper towel in the compost. Our grade 4 students and teachers are huge stars today too, for tirelessly recycling, and the past grade 4 student, for tirelessly recycling paper, cardboard, and our blue bin material. Together, Wildwood, we are strong. We have lifted 77,603 pounds of paper towel, one at a time. Wildwood, we've achieved great things. Thank you to Alberta Recycling Council for recognizing our work, and thank you to today's special guests.
We have one more person. I'm going to call Mr. Gordon McAlpine up, and Gordon is going to say a few words from Waste Management.
What up, Wildwood? How are you today? Waste Management is very proud of this school. I travel to schools all over Western Canada. You guys are the best. You are the best that I have seen in all of Western Canada. But you have to continue to be the best, because I can tell you there's a school in Okotoks that's hot on your heels. They did their own waste audit, they were at 83%. So they're coming close. But you guys are to be congratulated for what you do. At Waste Management, we want everyone to think green. So we're going to make some noise. If you're on this side of the gym, your word is think. If you're on this side of the gym, your word is green. When I point at you, you scream out your word. You all set? Yeah. So you guys who think, you guys are green. Ready? Let's have some fun. Ready? All right. Thank you. At Waste Management, we wanted to recognize Wildwood School. Besides the great honor they got from the Recycling Council of Alberta, because we're so proud to be your partner and help you with the recycling and the composting and things like that. So we had this plaque made for you that reads, presented to Wildwood School in recognition of winning 2014 Recycling Council of Alberta Hours of Excellence Award for leadership in waste diversion. Congratulations, Wildwood.
Boys and girls, teachers, staffs, families, this is an amazing award, and it couldn't happen without the efforts, as Mrs. Como said, of everybody. And it's about our stewardship and our belief that we have to look after the earth that we live in so that it's here in 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. So down the road, it's still a wonderful and livable space. So we will continue, and we take up the challenge to continue to do our very best to recycle, reuse, compost. And for many of you, I know that, I don't know where Mrs. Prevette is, but we just started the e-waste challenge. And that's a new initiative for, is she over there? Oh, there she is. Maybe I'll put my glasses. So just 2 families this morning filled up the big bin, and it's overflowing with e-waste. Does anybody know what e-waste is? Yes.
It's where electronics that don't work that plug into the wall and bring them and put them into the bin.
Well, I couldn't have said that any better than what you just said. Well done. It's all electronics, anything that plugs into the wall. So if you have things at home that don't work, and your parents want to clean up and get it out of the house or the garage, encourage them to drop it off at our school. Because I know that Mrs. Prevette has talked to you, the school or the institution with the most weight in e-waste gets a prize of $10,000. So we're going to take up that challenge in the next week and see. It's only here from today to next Thursday. So encourage your parents to bring in those old big TVs, computers, anything that plugs in that's not working, telephones, and we will get rid of it for you. So with that, I'd like to thank all our guests for coming to our school and celebrating with us our accomplishment. And we have another special thing happening, so we're looking forward to getting on with our grade 3 learning celebration. So if we could just sit quietly while the people that exit and we get ready for the next part of our learning celebration here. Now, boys and girls that have been sitting back there because of the media releases, you can now come back and join your classes.
Today, Wildwood School received an award from the Recycling Council of Alberta for diverting 84% of our waste from landfill. So that means that we compost or recycle everything else. 2.5 years ago, I had a student come to me to ask if we could start a student action club. And we talked about it and we decided as a club that we wanted to focus on composting. Recently, composting had become available through the CBE. And so we got the big bins and we put them in our bathrooms, and that student club emptied all of those bins every single week. And then what we've gone to now is having 2 students in every classroom being our compost crew. And that compost crew collects the compost and empties it and puts it into the big bins outside, and then it gets to turn into dirt.
And how the students who were doing it, they were exciting to do this?
The students have been so thrilled to take part in this. It makes them feel powerful. It makes them feel like they have control over their world, and they have control over doing something to help that world to make a difference.
Okay, and how did you manage them? Like, they are not very bigger guys, they are small, but they did a very good job. Like
yes,
admire them.
They're little people, but little people can do a lot of work. So every child in the school has composted equivalent of 131 pounds. So that's more for most of them than 2 of themselves. So they just do it by daily training the children in the classroom which place their waste needs to go, if it should be going into the compost or the recycling, and then the very little tiny bits are left over to go into the garbage monster.
And how did you measure that you did this much of their garbage? Like, how did you measure all these?
How did we find out that it was that much garbage? Or?
Yeah.
Okay, we had a waste assessment from an independent source. They came in and they collected all the garbage that had been created in one day at our school. And they also looked at our recycling and our composting programs. And based upon that, they figured out that we are diverting 84% of our waste. And they actually weigh our compost every time it leaves our school. So when they've weighed that compost with lifts every time it leaves, we've actually composted 35.2 tons of material, which is 77,603 pounds.
And did you get any kind of help from the CBE people?
The CBE provides the program for us. So they have made it possible for us to use the big green bins and get them from them, and the bags to go in those bins. They also provide the pickup service for free for us of the paper towel.
Yeah, that's nice. And did anyone from them show up here?
Yes, we had many dignitaries from the CBE represented today.
Yeah, they were here.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
Okay, that's nice.
I am Zachary Sidora. I'm Tyra Obasho. And we are from Wildwood School, and we've just received an award for leadership because we have compost 77,000 pounds of compost.
So we're also doing
e-waste, and in case you don't know, that's if you have any like electronics or anything that don't work that plug into a wall, you can bring them here, put them in the bin, and it will get recycled, and we can make the earth a better place.
And how did you like the program?
The program was very interesting. It really helped us work together as a team and like go to our max, all for just something that was broadcasted. And I can't believe this program changed Wildwood School so much.
And ever since grade 3, 2011, at the start of the year, our principal, Miss Connell, Miss Prevette, we had a question, and that question was, how do our actions impact the world? And so far, I think we've impacted the world quite a bit.
Did you feel any kind of difficulty in this?
Yes, it was pretty difficult to maintain with the process. And the process is really important to maintain, even though it's difficult, because every time you put something into the garbage, it heads to a landfill, and all that garbage that's in the landfill releases a toxic chemical liquid called garbage juice.
And that garbage juice, if it gets through, well, most of them, like the energy landfill, when we went there, they had retaining programs. But if that gets into the soil, it will pollute the dirt, no plants will grow, and pollute our water, and we won't be able to drink anymore. So it's really important that we have it demolished.
Because we don't want that many, because it takes a long time to find out what causes a sudden illness, and it could be water, it could be anything, and we just don't want to have to go through that. We don't want to have to find out. And I'm very proud that my school has achieved this award, and I'm excited, and I'm determined to stay at the top.
And we are the top. Except then again, there's a school in Okotoks that's producing 83. That's reducing 83% of their garbage, and we're 86. 84? 85%. Let's stick with that.
Let's just say 84.5.
Yeah.
And that'll do. And we don't want them hot on our heels. We want to be in the lead forever and always. Thank you.
My name's Jane.
And my name's Olivia.
So in grade 3, we first had a question, how do our actions impact the world? My first reaction to it was kind of like, first of all, I don't know what this means, and how am I going to do that? So when we first heard about recycling and composting, I thought that was a great idea, but very different because I never heard about it, and I thought it would be a great way to achieve this goal.
In grade 4, we all started recycling, and on every Wednesday, which we call World Wednesday, we take out the recycling and the compost. And I think that builds great responsibility because it's teaching us what to do when we're adults, so we know not to put compost in the garbage or recycling in the garbage or anything like that.
Yeah, so I think it's just a really cool thing. Like, we've composted 77,603 pounds of compost, which is crazy because we've only really been doing this for about 3 years, and I think it's just really crazy and cool. So yeah.
We've composted enough compost, so it is our weight, everyone's weight times 2. So that means it's my 131 pounds, which is more than most kids weigh here.
And what is the message would you like to give all other school kids and like Calgarians or all the provinces people? Because if they do the work that you did, then Calgary, Alberta will be more like the best city or like the province in the world, or whatever you're going to say.
Yeah.
So what is your message?
I think our message for the world and Alberta and Calgary and all schools should be, how do your actions impact the world?
And definitely remember to think green.
Okay, so you are thinking to make the Alberta green. So you are saying that the people supposed to take care of their garbage too, so they don't need to like all the stuff that they need to take care of all their garbage, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks guys.
Thanks.
Hi, my name is Ren.
Hi, my name is Angel Matias Sanchez Ocana, and this program is pretty awesome because it's helping us preserve our earth, and
We also really want to recycle as much as we can and compost as much as we can, because when you compost something, then if you compost a crumb, then it makes such a big difference, because if you put that in the garbage, then it will turn into landfill.
And what I've learned this year from, we had a field trip this year to the landfill, and everything was just garbage everywhere. And I learned that recycling and composting is way better, because in my country, we didn't actually do this. So when I found out that they actually do this, and I couldn't believe it, because it helped us preserve our world, and it just makes less garbage.
And what's your message?
Our message since I was in grade 2, it has been, how do our actions impact the world? So by that we mean you should put this in the garbage, and you shouldn't put this in the garbage, and you should put it in the recycling or in the compost, because then it will help the earth a lot.
And my message is to just help to preserve our world.
Thank you very much.